beacon. I guess the beacon has a special meaning in Minecraft, but it's like in the center of the temple. Basically, there's 8 gold blocks. That's like the treasure of the temple. But you know, the blocks that the temple is made out of is also cool. It's prismarine is the new block name, and there's also, what is this one called? Sea lantern. Sea lantern, and that one actually emits light, as we saw before. So these guardians, they are dangerous. They move around pretty fast. If I go ahead and put myself in survival, we'll see kind of what they do. See, he's locking onto me with a beam, and then it's going to damage me. Yeah, so let's go back into creative mode. Yeah, so they fly around really fast. They'll shoot any squids that they see, so you get a lot of ink kind of dropped on the ground anywhere that you're near guardians. Bam. Now you can avoid the beam by getting out of line of sight of the guardians, or by moving away from them. Let's see, is there anything else in here? Well, this one didn't spawn with any sponge in it, but there are some of these dungeons will actually spawn with sponge. There's also a second type of guardian. So these are normal guardians. They're hostile mobs, and they'll spawn on their own and despawn on their own. There's also elder guardians here, and these guys don't despawn. And I think they only spawn once. I don't think that they spawn again later on their own. But they have a lot more health and they deal more damage. Let me go ahead and kill one here, if I can. And they drop wet sponge and also some of these shards, prismarine shards, and I thought they also dropped prismarine crystals, but I guess it's kind of random. Anyway, so let's go into my regular test world and we'll have a look. I have, in my regular test world, I have the entire dungeon. Same dungeon, I just pulled it above ground so we can have a look without having to worry about all the water. So let's dig in. You can see it's kind of big. It's randomly configured, and there's rooms. I think there. Let's see if I just dig through. Yeah, I bet we can find more. There's more crawl space over here. Yeah, effect Seth Bling, 1636. Okay. Yes, there's kind of like a bit of crawl space, I guess, around the edge, but on the inside, it's all the rooms. So I got that mining fatigue effect again there. It kind of makes this startling sound and stuff. Yeah, so sometimes these things do spawn with rooms full of sponge, and that's pretty cool. So over here, I have pulled aside some of those mobs so we can see them above ground. They seem perfectly happy to flap around above ground. I'll remind you, these are called guardians, and that's the elder guardian. So they don't take damage when they're flapping around above ground. Let's see, let me grab some flint and steel. I've been told that they don't take damage from fire, so, or lava or anything, so yeah, that's these guys. I think the elder is what's causing the mining fatigue effect, and I'm getting it here, so I'm going to go ahead and clear my effects. Let's see, what else is in the snapshot? So when you get the wet sponge by killing the elder, or by picking up the wet sponge from the fortress, you can put it in a furnace to dry it. This is gonna be fun. You can put it into a furnace to dry it, and you can use it to basically clear out water from large spaces. So, and then it becomes a wet sponge. So this one's wet. You can see it's kind of sweating water, although, yeah. So, so that's a wet sponge, and then you put it in a furnace to dry it again. Let's see if I have. Here's a dry sponge. If I grab some water in my inventory and put it down, it's immediately going to break it, and that'll make this into a wet sponge, and then it won't break the water again. So you have to dry it off in order for it to break, or to dry out the water again. So that's the sponge. What else do we got? So we got some stuff over here. Some new command block stuff. So you can now modify, or sorry, the text that's in books, written books. If you use a custom command like this, you can use JSON, the .json text formatting, the same stuff that you use with slash title and whatever. So here we go. Spawn a book. I actually have one already in my inventory. This is a test book that Sarge gave me the command for this. So if I read the book, you can see there's colored text, and if I hover over the word awesome, you can see you can even click to run a command, and so I can run slash say hello and whatever. So this is really, really powerful. You could have like spell books and all kinds of menus and all that stuff, and that's very, very cool. Definitely looking forward to playing around with that and seeing some cool concepts with that. There's you can also use the .json text formatting in signs if you use /setblock. And here's another command that Sarge gave me, although I modified it a little bit. But basically what it's doing is in the second line it's displaying a selector, which is @e, c =1, type equals not play.